Welcome to the Paupergeddon Day 2. This is the first Pauper Grand Prix in the history of Magic. We are seeing 95 players battling down to reach the top 8 of this long tournament. And today we are looking at, I guess, the peakest of Pauper Magic. We saw a lot of good players. We have Andrea Mengucci, Marco Vassallo, the winner of the MOX, and a lot of other very strong player in the Pauper community. Remember, the format is a format made for the community, from the community, and so a lot of league champions and other very strong players, well known in local game store, are here to battle. And right now we are looking at two strong decks. One of the most, I think, expected deck in the format, in the form of Altered Tron. I think the Tron metagame has changed a lot during the Pauper format. We saw a lot of bannings. We had banned like Expedition Map that's gone unbanned.
The only card that is now unbanned.
Yes. And then we had Bonders Ornament, but this Altered Tron and Prophetic Prism. But this Altered Tron is more of a combo deck. I don't know if someone is familiar with Modern, but this remember me a ton of. It's very similar to the old KCI. So you play a ton of artifacts, you storm the mana. It's a very fun deck. I like it. And on the other side.
Yeah. Okay. Here is Alessandro. Yeah. What's similar with KCI? Like the problem is gonna be banned soon. Something.
I don't think so. Do you think the deck is too aggressive for the format?
No, I don't think, but because the banning also usually takes online with the online metagame, and Altered Tron is not so. Doesn't show so often like in real. So it's really hard to ban something from Tron, from Altered Tron, because only in Paupergeddon on big tournaments you see reaching the top 8 really often. Instead, Flickertron was commonly used with a Bonders Ornament also online. That's why the ban of Prophetic Prism, when actually was tier 0, we can say that yes. Flickertron was tier 0.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
We are almost ready with the metagame breakdown.
Yep.
We are doing it on paper, so it's just both of us working hardly with computer and pen and paper. So we are. It will be online in, I guess, for the next turn or the turn later. So stay tuned to see the metagame. By the way, follow the various pages of the Paupergeddon to see the full metagame, and we are ready for the match. So we are seeing Altered Tron versus Co-Gates. I think this is the first time we saw Gates on streaming this weekend.
Also Altered Tron. This is not like maybe on a backup table.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's fun because in the last online leagues, I didn't see a lot of Co-Gates, so it's really. It's awesome, I think, to see, because in Paupergeddon Rome, in the last Paupergeddon in Rome, there were tons of Co-Gate in the top 8. And
this is a question I want to ask you, and also to the chat. So the problem you illustrated before is basically like Altered Tron has an infinite life combo with looping Mirror Retriever. You can call a judge, announce the loop, and then just cast Weather the Storm for like 10 billions. So you gain 10 billions X3. But this can be done online. Like you can gain 300, 400. But of course, like some aggro decks or some other decks can really prey on you or just tempo you out. And I remember, like in Modern, there was this Heliod combo deck that. At some point you have Heliod plus Spike Feeder, so you go up to infinite. But of course, on Magic Online, it wasn't so predominant because of the clock and of the just limited amount of life you can gain. Togores, I don't know about the last turn, but it was 6-1, I think, after they won. But I will ask him
but
later.
I think our bots are still online, so you can just type rank and pairings to get all the informations you need. We are going to share the metagame really soon, like probably in the one of two turns, but we will not share the metagame of the day two because we don't want to give any information to the players that are playing right now, but we will share the top over player metagame and the day one metagame, and we got at least 5 really spicy lists to show you. Spicy, of course, is a way to say that there are at least 5 crazy players that wants to reach the 0-7 performance here.
I don't know, maybe, sometimes being courageous should be,
Talking about the match, I think it's a really bad matchup for Cowgate.
Yeah, I think so too. Just because the only interaction Cowgate has are basically the counter spells for this matchup. And I think Altartron has a way to really go up on mana and loop the win cons. So counterspell is not really a good spell if you don't back it up with aggression. Though if Fantini maybe game 2 and 3 it can keep a hand relying on Basilisk Gate to be the aggressor a bit more consistently.
Looking at the Alessandro Fantini list, we actually find 2 nice additions. It's not a Azorius Cowgate. It's actually pretty J-Sky version of Cowgate because it has got 3 lightning bolt. 3 lightning bolt for Alessandro Fantini
and
one casting to the fire. This is actually a really strong card against Altartron because he can stop the combo. I think those cards are a meta call for Alessandro Fantini that helped him to reach this score at the tournament.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Also, we saw casting to the fire being one of the most played card, maybe the most played card from Lord of the Rings. And it looks like Altatron is looping the Me Retriever to make infinite combo. I don't know. Should I stop the game? Okay.
No.
I mean, let's. We'll be more focused on the game later. But yeah, Infinite Weather the Storm beats the Cowgate Menace, and as I said before, those wins aren't possible on Magic Online, and it's a pleasure to see Altartron in paper and on camera because he's one of the fewest possibilities you can see the deck in action. I think the bad matchups of Altartron right now are mostly the aggressive decks that can back up with counterspells. So I think Mono Blue Fairies is not a great matchup, and also I think Ponza decks can really slow you down. Especially, of course, play draw is starting to matter in Pauper, I think.
Yeah.
And so a Ponza deck on the play is able to slow you down enough. And also, I think that if the meta works around Tron, it's easy to, overcome it. Grazie.
Okay, looking at Alessandro Fantini sideboard, I think the choice of usage of 2 Relic of Progenitors is really strange because looking also at the other part of the deck list, this deck is pretty Gaia based. So to help Alessandro Fantini to win game 2, we have 2 Relic of Progenitors, of course, 2 Dust to Dust, trying to exile a few artifacts. It's a strange choice to not use only Dust to Dust without any Revoke Existence, because I think the Revoke Existence spot is taken by 2 casting to the fire. And thanks to the... I think you can side out the lightning bolt because you don't need this kind of interaction. There are 4 prismatic strands for sure. that can be sided out.
Yeah, I think you can even try to cut some, like Guardian of the Guild Pact is not doing anything. And also I think you can reduce the amount of air cantrips to focus more on your game plan. I think, I'm not even sure Dust to Dust is good. I will ask you to chat, because if I am the Altartron player, I try to cast some air into the battlefield and then hold up the combo, wait until I find all the pieces that I'm doing, and then slam it so I don't get blown out by Dust to Dust. I think my goal as an Altartron player would be to assemble the Tron easily, because the best way to outpower blue combo decks are to make a ton of mana. So you make a ton of mana and then you start slamming the manas. Because if the Kogates player is not able to slam a Basilisk Gate in the early turns, it's easy to, it isn't easy to pressure. Yeah, maybe Dust is good just because you have a lot of bad cards, but
yeah, I agree
we
with
saw
you.
2 Relic to cast into the fire. We will see.
I still prefer against Altatron to use Revoke Existence, because you have to exile the first artifact on board. It's really hard to have 2 artifacts that didn't get sacrificed by the Tron players. So I played a lot against Altatron in the Paupergeddon Milan, not the last one, the previously one. There were 12 Altatron on the room, and I got 5 out of them.
Wow.
Very bloody synthesizer. So, and Revoke Assistance was my best friend during those games. Looking at Tommaso Lo's sideboard instead, there is a nice shot using Scatter Shot. Scatter Shot can be really good because can easily wipe the board.
There's a crank,
and there's also 2 Cracklock Shaman. This is a really, really nice meta call. And we have Breath Weapon, of course. And 2 Duress. Okay, maybe this is not the correct matchup.
I don't know. I think, just Cracklock Shaman. Whatever helps you removing the pressure from the battlefield, and then just go off. So we have someone asking for Mengu. So we already saw Mengu in round 1 of this tournament. So maybe we will ask him to play later on the feature table. But I think the goal of the day is to show more players, more decks, more approach to the meta. So as I said, I think Dust to Dust might be a double-sided blade for Fantini.
Just because we have to say it, because we have done all day yesterday, 4 Lambas for Tommaso Loss. 4 Lambas.
Looks like Lambas is...
Lambas is cast into the fire, because cast into the fire can remove Lambas, actually. So this is like a well-balanced expansion from Gavin. So thank you, Gavin, for printing new cards that will raise up the power level of our format.
So the deck lists are in the left and right side on the screen on the CardMarket Live pop-up.
So you should go to the button and just press, and you can see the list.
By the way, someone asked about how many counterspell in Fantini's list. I think 4 restock. While he's playing free Brainstorm, I think that is hurting me personally, because Brainstorm, just play for Brainstorm, come on. But he's playing for counterspell. Yeah, I think 4 is good.
I have to admit that Andrea was talking about Brainstorm this morning while we were having breakfast. So he was taking a coffee, talking about how beautiful it is to play Brainstorm in this format.
Yeah, in general, I don't get to play many Brainstorms, just because, when I play Legacy, I don't really enjoy Brainstorm decks, because, everyone is playing it, so for me it's annoying to play those slow mirror of mid-range battles, and of course in Modern, there is no Brainstorm for now, so I like to play Pauper, just because I can play the strategy that fits me perfectly, but I don't get to play so many mirrors. So I think one of the appeal of the format is you get so many different decks, so many different approaches to Magic. So we are seeing a combo decks relying on like similar to egg strategy. We're seeing a co-gate deck, so similar to co-blade in standard. Then we saw Boros Synthesizer, that's basically a mid-range deck without blue. And we saw aggro decks, more control decks. I really like the format, the depth of the format.
So I have a question for you. Do you think that Tommaso Rossi expected the Relic Progenitors as much? Because he's listing in the sideboard 2 Ancient Grudge, of course, to remove Relic of Progenitors. Do you think that Tommaso sided in for this matchup the 2 Ancient Grudge?
Maybe yes, just because yesterday I was at the tables. The deck list is on the Cardboard Live pop-up. You can see on the screen. So just click it and the deck list will appear. Okay, so about your question, I think like yesterday I was at the tables and someone just was playing main deck Ancient Grudge, so you can destroy your Wellspring to draw one
Really?
card. Yes, I think that's smart. So I think Ancient Grudge is the card you wanna side in basically every game, just because it's kind of free. And we are seeing Fantini actually starting to put pressure on Loss with that Basilisk Gate, a card that it didn't have the previous game, and now it can start doing some massive damage. It's like Steerings from Loss. Steerings is one of the best cards, I think, in Magic in general. Is the Green Ponder, basically. The card I love personally. It enables a lot of strategy, of course Tron, but also any artifact decks. I remember at some point in Modern, there were affinity decks with, Inkmoth Nexus, Arcbound Ravager, Criminal Painting, playing Steerings for consistency. Okay, I don't know, next level, we will try to fix it as soon as possible.
Okay,
we are already fixing this problem.
Thank you guys
from the chat. Okay, Lembas. And as I suggested, Loss is trying to assemble Tron to make this much mana, and then just try to go off and construct a big turn. So Basilisk Gate is now at +4/+4. But he decided instead to, I guess, build a board before pumping his threat. And I think he has, maybe he's representing counterspell this way, so he still wants one turn to...
Strange decision.
Yeah, I think it's fine. And Loss decided to sacrifice the treasure to crack them up and search for the third Tron piece. That's an interesting decision, because you give away 1 mana, but you save 1 mana from the previous turn. So I expect some fireworks from Loss now. Let's see what he's gonna do.
Is 9 mana for Loss now?
Yes, and it looks like he has access to Ancient Grudge in the sideboard. So from the sideboard.
So maybe that's why he decided to sacrifice the token. He doesn't need the color mana because he has a fixer. Okay. The rock. Oh, Weather the Storm.
Weather the Storm now is interesting. Starting to assemble the combo.
Because there are already 2 spells on the stack. Played this turn. With map and Weather the Storm can go up to 12.
Do you think it's correct to play a value Weather the Storm, like gaining 12, 13, 15, rather than just wait for the combo? I don't know, Lost decided to just pass with the mana open. I think his plan is to play this Ancient Grudge,
Yeah, to
in
destroy
the answer to destroy the relic, tax Fantini's mana a little bit. It looks like Fantini has another relic, though you can destroy both just because Ancient Grudge is a busted magic card and allows you to do it twice due to his effect from the graveyard, basically.
Yeah, I think Flashback is maybe one of the most representative abilities that you can find in Pauper, because it's actually 2 cards for 1.
Yes.
And playing from the graveyard, there are two effects that are really common in Pauper.
It looks like this is what I call Ancestral Vision, Ancestral Recall, basically 2 mana, draw 3. Looks like Loss is piling up all the cards I need for win, because we saw Golem Foundry, we saw Mid Retriever. He's just missing an altar, I think. Lembas doing Lembas things. Yeah. I think he has some counter spells, though his mana base currently makes him potentially cast just 1. And as we said before, counterspell is not is problematic versus Altatron, as you have Mir Retriever to rebuy your stuff. So we will see how this game gets played out. So personally, we were talking about the Urukai Berserk yesterday night. I don't personally like the card. I think the ring mechanic is quite too slow, but I think we will see. I personally don't encourage this deck building. Maybe you can try to build a deck revolve completely around those effects, like, so you play Monarch and ninjas and rings, but I would play personally Dark Ritual, so you can like land Dark Ritual Berserk and then like untap ninja, do it again.
From your standings, bot is not working. You have to type rank instead.
Exclamation point rank. And while we were talking, nothing has done in the battlefield. I think Altatron is looking for his combo, and I think maybe now it's time to fire up that Ancient Grudge with probably like yes. And I'm very curious if Fantini ends up countering
Yep, first Ancient Grudge. And the second one is counter spells.
That's an interesting play, I think.
Like at this moment, protecting the Relic of Progenitus is protecting the match.
Yes. Yes, but maybe it was better to counterspell the first one. I don't know. Okay, it looks like another Deadly Dispute. That's the third, right? And looks like Loss picked up also the altar in his hand, so he just need a way to destroy the relic to win. And back in my format in Modern, you have Boose, so you can tutor for Boose, destroy the relic and go off. Here, though, we don't have such powerful lands, so I'm very curious if Loss can pick up a way to destroy the relic before Fantini start to attack with
the full gate,
Basilisk, yes.
Full Basilisk powered Cowgate. So he has to find the second Ancient Grudge. That's all he needs at the moment.
Yeah, I think Loss can easily though cast the Golem Foundry. I guess maybe it's bad because you exposed to dust this way. That's why I like Altatron, because even if it's you play a busted a busted gameplay with the Tron lands, you still it looks like he went to discard. I don't know about control decks. I think playing control in Pauper is high risk because every deck plays a ton of card advantage spells, and you can't really keep up with the counter spells. So, and also you don't have mass removals. So if your opponent gets on board quick, you don't have a way to like a Wrath of God effect. Though I think I personally like a ton Fairies deck, so you play more of a tempo strategy revolving around 2-for-1 and micro advantages. Of course, it's like you have to fit your game plan to it. You have to understand the meta game and decide the best cards. But I think you can try to play that way. Yeah, Tron is a good control deck, but I think for let's say old school players like me, and for old school I mean stock archetypes, control deck and Tron doesn't really marry well together. Yes. Mostly, like, I think at some point you have to pick your win condition. So you can control the deck, control the game for a bit, and then at some point you have to do something. While drawing only cards and generating value isn't winning you the game. So maybe, like, if your opponent played an initiative card, it can kill you just with that. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Tuatti. And that's why I don't like control decks in Modern too, because like your win condition is Teferi, and Teferi is a 5 mana planeswalker, but like when it enters the battlefield, it doesn't win immediately. So you can like let them draw 2 cards, but then only hit it, or like you can spell piece it while it's on the stack. So and of course also it's not a card you can slam to the battlefield. You have to play it when you have a setup. So I prefer to play tempo. I think right now all the formats are built around tempo and mid-range mostly. Yeah, Fantini is playing very, very safe. But it looks like his game plan is rewarding him, since saving that Relic, like Relic is carrying the game by itself, basically.
So yeah, also the fact he never tapped the Basilisk Gate to pump his creed. He's got also another Basilisk Gate in the hand, I think. Maybe, I don't know, after the brainstorm.
Yeah,
no,
I think he has another
no,
one.
deck lists are not closed.
There should be
the bot should be fixed.
So you should have an extension somewhere in the screen of Cardboard Live. So okay.
Yeah, unexpected bird from the top.
Yeah, I like the ability of of the bird to cycle itself and basically shuffle your deck, so generating brainstorm value. Okay, we're trying to fix these problems.
But if you have any question about the list, if you want to know about a card in particular, just type it and we will tell you.
Okay, so I like this game. It's being played, I think, well from both sides. Losses, he went to discard even to prevent the opponent dust to dust. So he's playing also control deck. It looks like finally found the lethal, I think, Ancient Grudge.
Fantini has got 3 casting to the fire at the moment because I suppose
he decided
into keeping the one that plays main deck.
So 1 main deck to sideboard, and he plays 3 lightning bolt sideboard. And now I think Lost End has the whole combo set up.
So while at 91, if you want to know about the European Pauper League, please follow this stream until turn 5 at least. So turn 12 for the World Tournament. We have something. Yeah, we have something to show you.
I guess this is the turn.
Yeah.
And this can resolve safely, I think. So Fantini is only looking to counter that. That's the card that must not hit the battlefield.
So how many?
And as you can see, you grudge yourself to
weather the storm.
Yes.
Okay.
Looks like loss. Patience really paid off in waiting.
So it's like 2 times. 2 times the game ended. Also cause infinite life points for loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, like it's not only infinite points, but it's also infinite free freeze from the next turn, because the Golem Foundry gets infinite counters. So you just pass with an abysmal number of free freeze.
Yeah, it's like I cannot lose, and I will win soon.